right, now it is time for the top 5 segment, man, and this one's very interesting.
Yes.
Stay with me. Stay with me. Best actors / actresses cast against known for type roles. So basically, we're looking for roles that an actor takes that is different from what they normally do, what their normal genre is. This one was very freaking hard because a lot of actors like to jump back and forth, you know? I mean, one that I really like, it was hard not to do, but I mean, he's shifted so much into the other direction, which was Steve Carell.
Oh, I got him.
Yeah, he's there. Sorry about blowing that for you guys.
No, but there's a reason, and I think my film that I chose for it is.
I think it was the start one.
That's the start. It was nothing but comedy prior to this film, and now it seems like he's doing nothing but drama. But I chose that one.
We will. Number 5 for me is Mark Wahlberg in The Other Guys, which is a comedy with Will Ferrell. If you guys haven't seen it, Mark Wahlberg is actually freaking hilarious, and I don't feel like he gets enough recognition or even opportunities to do more comedies, because I mean, if you even think about the other movie that he did with Will Ferrell, the one where he's like the real dad and Will Ferrell's the stepdad, those comedies, he is absolutely hilarious. And I mean, I feel like, you know, he feels most comfortable with Will Ferrell. It's what it seems like. But just, of course, he's a great dramatic actor, great action-packed guy, but he can also make you laugh out of your seat. So if you guys haven't seen The Other Guys, it's slapstick comedy, it's stupid humor, it is a phenomenal fun time, and Mark Wahlberg just makes me crack up every single time. So that's why he had to go on my list. And of course, he's one of our favorite actors. So
without doubt.
I mean, he's so versatile. But yeah, number 5 for me, Mark Wahlberg and The Other Guys.
Well, and one of my favorite movies of all time for his was and forgive me because I can't remember the name of it to save my life, even though it was one of my, is the one with him and Rose Byrne with the adoptive kids when they're trying to adopt a family.
Instant Family.
Yeah. So fucking good. It's so funny. It's a comedy, and there's a lot of comedy in it, but there's just that touch of drama that he brings to it that makes it real and kind of, it's brilliant. It's brilliant, but he's hilarious throughout the whole thing. It's fucking hilarious. So good pick. My number 5 is Renee Zellweger as Judy Garland in Judy. Now, Renee was like, you know, you're talking Jerry Maguire, the Bridget Jones Diaries, and like all that kind of stuff. Known for romantic comedies and comedy, love story, kind of goofy stuff, right? Well, Judy Garland, if you know the tragic story of Judy Garland, anything but a comedy. I mean, this was a tragic story of a beloved actress who went through just terrible times, ended up becoming a pill addict and a drunk and you know, dying young. And I was blown away at Renee Zellweger's performance as Judy Garland. There's a reason why she was nominated for an Oscar for it. It was unreal. At no point ever are you even thinking about Jerry Maguire. You lose all of Renee, and it's Judy. It was that powerful. And I think there was a risk there because she has done these movies and then she disappeared for a little while. And everybody's like, where is she? What's she doing? Is she going to make a big cut? There was talks of another Bridget, is it Bridget Jones? I think it's Bridget Jones.
Yeah. The one with Hugh Grant.
Yeah. And if it's not, you know what I'm talking about, but there was talks of another one of those. And like, so everybody was waiting for the big comeback in the kind of comedy, romantic comedy space. And it was Judy. Yeah. And they were like, holy shit.
Whoa.
But she was phenomenal. I was just literally blown away. And when they first announced it, I was like, Renee Zellweger? Like, no fucking way. Yeah. But I was wrong. Way fucking way. She nailed it. And it was, if you haven't checked it out, it's disturbing. It is. It goes deep into Judy Garland's troubled past and life, and it's kind of really sad but unbelievable performance by Renee Zellweger. So
for sure, good pick, man. Good pick. Number 4 for me goes to Melissa McCarthy in The Starling. Now, if you guys haven't seen this one, basically she loses a child. She is a potential mother, or a mother who loses a child, I should say, and just the dramatic take that, you know, that's so relevant to a lot of women can connect to that because there's so many women who have mixed miscarriages or babies who die of SIDS, like my mother did. And like, it's just all of these different things that women can relate to in this film. And you always got that little bit of, dramatic takes from her when she does, like, because she's basically known for a lot of comedies, but you always got those little dramatic takes from her when she was like in Gilmore Girls and like The Kitchen, which was like trying to be like a mobster movie. But I feel like, she doesn't get enough recognition. And again, like my number 5, she doesn't get enough opportunities to play those dramatic roles because she is absolutely phenomenal. She had one that came out that something intelligence, basically where she kind of fell in love with AI. It was on HBO Max. It was like an HBO Max original, peak pandemic, and it was a dramedy, but I mean, it had those dramatic takes because she has those powers, as you could say, to make people cry. And I'm super excited to see what she does with Ursula because I mean, she is a phenomenal actress, and I mean, that dramatic take and that evil take, because she's such a good person, that evil take on a character to see what she'll bring to the table.
Yeah, no, that's exactly. It's another transition, right? Type against. She's known for comedy. She was type against that with the drama. Now she's being a villain, which she's so. But I will say, I'm glad you brought up Gilmore Girls because there were always hints of her dramatic flair. You knew she could pull off a dramatic role because every now and then Suki would have something delicious to like chew on dramatically, and you could tell it was there. So I'm glad somebody finally was like, let's put this woman in a drama because it was there, needed to be. Speaking of, let's put this woman in a drama, and everybody freaked the fuck out when they're like, what? No way, don't do it, you're insane. But they did it anyway. I'm talking about the beloved Mary Tyler Moore in Ordinary People as Beth Jarrett. Look, guys, when the decision was made to cast Mary Tyler Moore in this role, people lost their shit. They're like, this is Mary Tyler Moore. This is fucking Dick Van Dyke Show and the Mary Tyler Moore Show. She's beloved Mary from comedies that everybody loves. Nobody wants to see her as this dark, evil, kind of like you hate her person. They did it anyway, and it was massively huge and successful. Like, so to set it up, it's about this family, and their eldest son dies tragically. And the family goes into this like hole basically, and they're all trying to move on. But Beth becomes very distant and closed off and almost emotionless, and people are like, what a fucking bitch. She doesn't mourn the loss of her kid, and she's treating her family like shit, and it's like she doesn't even love them anymore, and she's just like this mean, cold person, like a soulless person. And you're thinking, Mary fucking Tyler Moore, heartless with no soul? It's fucking impossible. But holy shit, she fucking nailed it. And look, I'm just going to be honest with you. If you know anything about Mary and her real life, she battled alcoholism and for quite some time battled alcoholism. It was a real problem. And she had a very turbulent life for a little while. And I think she brought a lot of that to the role. And I think that the people behind Ordinary People knew that. I think they were banking on that she was going to be able to bring some of that experience to this character. And it was a phenomenal performance. And for anybody out there that doesn't know, you maybe have heard me talk about this before. I was so blessed and fortunate to be able to talk to this woman and become friends with her for a little bit. And I'm just blown away. We chatted about this very thing. She's like, what do you know me from? The Dick Van Dyke Show? What do you? And I'm like, Ordinary People. Like, it's like, what the fuck? But yeah, it's just, it was definitely type against cast, and it was a huge success. So boom.
For sure. There it is. And number 3 for me goes to Emma Stone, of course, going from Zombieland to The Help and La La Land. And Birdman, which I haven't seen yet.
Oh my
but
gosh!
I mean, you know, but she's so versatile as well, because it's not only Zombieland, but she was starring in like those teenage comedies, you know, with like Easy A, and I believe she was in Superbad, and like all of these different like teenage comedies, stoner flicks, different things like that. But then she comes to The Help. She comes to The Favorite. She comes to La La Land, and just like knocks all of these roles out of the park, to the point where you're like, okay, we need to start taking her more seriously. Like she can act her ass off. Excuse my French, but you know, like, I mean, it's just an amazing thing to see that transformation in an actress that, you know, sometimes they stick to that genre and then they fade away. But it's awesome to see the evolution of some amazing talent that comes from a certain place and continues to move towards something different. That's how you know they're going to have longevity in the entertainment industry, because they're not afraid of a challenge and they're always moving forward, like we talk about all the time. That's how you continue to grow and gain more success in this industry. So that's why Emma Stone at number 3, from comedy to these beautiful, amazing dramas and musicals for La La Land.
I can't disagree with any of that.
Yeah.
That was all. I sincerely hope that you will watch Birdman.
I want to. It's not on a streamer.
Her performance in Birdman is unfucking believable. The only issue that I think you might have is that the majority of her scenes are with one of your favorite actors, Ed Norton.
Yeah.
And if you are a fan of the show, you know exactly what I mean by that. So, but watch it anyway.
Yeah.
Watch it anyway, because it's freaking good. Yeah. Okay, my number 3 is one that I think everybody was kind of like, what? And we talked about it. He kind of spoiled it for you at the top, but I'm going to say it's Steve Carell.
Yes.
And the role that I chose in the movie that I chose is when he plays John DuPont from Foxcatcher. This is with Channing Tatum. Remember, it's this wrestling movie where he is like this dark, disturbing coach that has this twisted fascination with the wrestler that goes, let's just say, over the line, becomes a little bit more than it's supposed to. And it's a very dark, twisted. The makeup, the transformation that he makes physically in this movie, it's just, you have to double take. You're like, the first time you see it, it's like, is that Steve Carell? And like, you have to even guess, is that him? It's so dark and it's so, and prior to this, it's literally like Steve Carell is The Office, and from Bruce Almighty was, you know, when he's playing the anchor.
Yeah, like
that's
audio version.
Like that's all you think. And then you see this movie and you're like, holy fuck. Yeah. This guy's an actual actor. This guy can act. And it just seems like that was the launch pad for like all these, most recently, The Patient.
Oh, man.
Like, oh my God. If you haven't seen that, when he's like a therapist that gets kidnapped by his psycho patient, and holy shit. But he's just so dramatic now. Occasionally he'll pepper in a comedy somewhere every now and then, but it's more dramatic roles now. And I love that. I think this, like you were just saying, it's that growth. It's showing that, guys, I am an actor and I can do all kinds of stuff, not just this. And I think, unfortunately, I think sometimes some of these actors think it's necessary to go against type because they've been typecast as you only do this or you only do that. And they're like, hey, woohoo, somebody fucking put me in something to show that I can do something different. Yeah. And thankfully, the people behind Foxcatcher are like, let's get Steve Carell to play this psychopath. Right. And it was brilliant. So
sad part is that's a true story.
Like, that's even more terrifying that it's true. Yeah.
Check out that one. But yeah, I mean, so many hilarious ones like Anchorman.
Oh
like,
my God. Yeah, that's fucking, like, oh my gosh, that scene where he's just it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like again, Will Ferrell with that slapstick humor, man. He's so good. Number 2 for me, I got the name wrong on our
that's thing. What I was looking at. I'm like, this isn't
right.
Like,
I realized it. But number 2 for me goes to Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems.
Yes.
That movie blew me away. This guy, like, I mean, he's known for all of his Happy Madison production, which is like some of the best comedies of all time. Let's be honest about it. I mean, you got Waterboy, you have Billy Madison, you have like all of these different things, 50 First Dates, all these different things. But then you got this one, which is just this nonstop thrill ride of like, let's be honest about it, not really a good guy, but you want him to win because his family are good people, and you're just like, just be a family guy. Quit fucking throwing your fucking money away at like sports bets. But like, and he gets involved with the mob and like loan sharks and like all this different stuff. And
KG,
so freaking good, man. Like it was an amazing movie. I believe it was nominated for one of the Oscar categories. I don't remember which one. But it leads him into another movie called Hustle, I believe, the basketball one on Netflix. That's a really good drama as well. But I wanted to just stick to this one because it was such that dramatic twist that really no one was expecting. And I mean, they shot this thing a while ago, and then like to finally be able to put it out there, and people were blown away. And our theater that we went to was like packed with a whole bunch of different age demographics. Like it was amazing things to see. So I mean, goes down as one of the best comedians of all time, but he is a brilliant dramatic actor as well. So Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems.
Oh yeah. And there's another one too. And I'm being horrible at remembering names today, but he started it with Jennifer Garner, and it was a dramatic. It was very, very good movie. If you can find that one, it's really good too. Man, my number 2 terrified me. Literally terrified me. I'm talking about beloved Mork from Mork and Mindy. I'm talking about Good Morning Vietnam. I'm talking about Patch Adams. I'm talking about like just all of the amazing comedic, yet sometimes dramatic roles, right? Like with Patch and Robin Williams. We know him. We love him. We know he's one of the best comics of all time, right? We saw the drama with Dead Poets Society, but he's basically always a good guy. Good Will Hunting, he's like a good guy, you know. And then there's this movie, 1 Hour Photo, where old Robin plays Seymour. Holy shit. He is one of the most terrifying on-screen villains I've ever seen, and played brilliantly by Robin Williams. This is a guy who's basically an old guy, like maybe late 50s, early 60s. He's been working at a mall photo booth for like, you know, processing place for like ever. And he basically stalks all the people by looking through their photos as he's developing and everything. And he becomes obsessed with this one family, and like overly obsessed with this. And he starts having a relationship with them, and like very friendly with them and everything. And then the husband, like, I guess the best way, mistreats the wife. And Seymour's having no fucking part of that. And he exacts revenge tries to take over the family because he's basically in love with this woman and her family. And he's psychotic. I mean, when he's alone in the lab and he's just looking at pictures and like obsessing over like this, it's terrifying. And the whole time it's like, this is Robin fucking Williams. Like, where's the joke? Where is the, like, you know, it was like the first time that you could just tell. And again, maybe like the same thing with Mary Tyler Moore. Maybe this role was so convincing and so terrifying because he was bringing a lot of that stuff that we had no idea was going on in his real life, the things that he was going through, the things that he was feeling. I'm talking about the pain and the things that led to his eventual suicide. Maybe there was some of that in there, that, you know, this isolation, this guy that's just feels like he's got, you know, it was terrifying. If you want to see Robin Williams in a way you have never seen him before, watch 1 Hour Photo. And when I first saw this, because it was around the same time, it really fucking pissed me off that Tim Burton walked away and Joel Schumacher came in with the fucking nipples and all that shit. What the fuck? So Jim Carrey got the role, obviously, and it was over the top crazy as the Riddler. But Burton's plan was Robin Williams as the Riddler, as more of a Paul Dano version, a complete psychopath, manipulative, cold villain that was leaving clues as he's like serial killing these people with Keaton's Batman. That would have been fucking epic. After I watched 1 Hour Photo, I was so pissed that did not happen. Right. I'm like, no, he could have played the fucking Riddler so goddamn good. But it was like, Oh well, wishes, right?
That's so funny. I mean, yeah, man. That was so
you just
hard.
Don't see
that one.
Like,
yeah.
think Robin Williams as a psychopath villain.
You really don't. You really don't. Number one for me is definitely a conversation starter and has some interesting takes on things. But I'm talking about Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder, because unbeknownst to me, has he ever done a comedy before then?
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen any of those. So to see him, all I've known him from is very dramatic performances after his resurgence into the limelight. But I mean, to see this, I was like, what the actual fuck am I watching? And just dying laughing. But I just loved the way that he was able to approach such a comedic situation, because that's what comedy is. It's not necessarily always right. It's not politically correct. And it's just that it makes you laugh, and it's stereotypical. And I mean, we need to laugh at things more. So I feel like that is a prime example of what this film does. But kind of puts a mirror up to society and just like, stop taking yourself so seriously. So that's why I wanted to put it on my list. I know it is controversial, but I loved his performance in that. And it is what it is. He's still here. He's still rocking and rolling. Can't cancel RDJ, baby.
No, and it's so funny that every now and then the generations come, right? Because I thought you had him on the list because being typecast as a black person, and like, how do you cast a white person as a black person? That's where I thought you were going with it. And then you were like, no, he's comedy. Well, he's not. So there was the generation gap right there. But I love that because, and I guess both work, because it was a controversy. It's like, why the hell are we casting Robert Downey Jr. as a black man? Like it was like, what
yeah, exactly.
is going on? And I'm just going to be honest with it. In today's culture,
you can't do it.
This movie would never get made. It makes fun of mentally challenged people. It makes fun of basically, I mean, casting a white, it's the stereotypical, all the black jokes, this movie would never get made today.
No.
So yeah, it's definitely out there. And can we forget, you bringing that up just makes me another person cast against type. Fucking Tom Cruise is Les Grossman, the producer in that movie. Holy shit. Yeah. Everybody had to look, is that even Tom Cruise? Exactly. It's like, what the fuck? If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you've never seen that, look that up. That shit is fucking crazy.
So funny.
Oh, okay, my number one had to be on the list. It's the obvious. I think the one that everybody was like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm talking about my man, the one and only Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne Batman. When this was announced, I can't even tell you how much shit hit the fan. Everybody fucking freaked out about, how dare you put this goofy ass comedian in the role of the Dark Knight? We don't want another 60s Batman campy shit. This is supposed to be dark. This is supposed to be the Batman. It's supposed to be, and every excuse in the book about why this was the most horrible choice and Tim Burton should be fired and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. I got two words for you. I'm Batman. That's it. He is the definitive Batman. Every Batman since him has copied that Batman, and to their credit, but it's still stemming from him. And every review that you are reading right now about The Flash, everyone that I am seeing so far from the people who have seen it are now saying he is the definitive Batman. This marks him, returns him as past Christian Bale again, and I know you will, but these people are saying it, and it's not even just me, returns him definitively as the Batman. And I mean, you can't argue. It was the most brilliant casting move by Tim Burton. And it's so funny because right around that time is fucking Beetlejuice. And they're like, you're cast fucking Beetlejuice as Batman? Like, why didn't we just put Adam West back behind the cowl? Like, what the fuck were you thinking? But it's so goddamn good. Like, and now, I mean, like, for me, anybody my age, right? Like Kevin Smith, like all these people, he is Batman. And it's just like, it was the most brilliant casting move Warner Brothers, I think, pulled off in still up from that point now all the way up. It's probably still the most brilliant casting move that they have made. It was just, it worked. It was phenomenal. And he is Batman. That's all I'm saying.
Can I see the birth certificate of these people saying this? That's all I want to know. That's what I want to know.
I'm serious. Go look it up. Look it up.
That's
I'm serious.
funny.
I'll pull it up right now. There's like everywhere.
It's so funny. Well, listen, guys, we want to know, what is your favorite performance by an actor that goes against their stereotypical genre? Please be sure to comment below in the comment section or add us on Twitter at JLoganAustin or at CrazyAntCEO. We want to know what your thoughts and opinions are. We absolutely love it.
This was a tough one, so I'd love to hear what people out there are thinking.
It really was, man.